Have you ever noticed something strange? Some of the happiest people aren't the people with the easiest lives. They aren't the richest. They aren't the most successful. And they certainly aren't happy every single day. Yet somehow, they seem lighter, more present, more content, more at peace. So what's their secret? Most people think happiness arrives when life finally goes their way, when they earn more money, find the right relationship, reach the next goal, or solve every problem they're dealing with right now. But your brain tells a very different story. Happiness isn't something your brain finds. It's something your brain learns to notice. Every day, your brain is paying attention to what you focus on, what you repeat, what you value. And over time, those patterns become your emotional reality. The strange part? Many of the habits that quietly increase happiness aren't the ones most people talk about. They're subtle, almost invisible. But repeated long enough, they can completely change the way you experience your life. So in this video, I'm going to share 10 unusual habits that quietly rewire your brain for happiness. Some of them may seem surprisingly simple, but don't underestimate them, because your brain changes through repetition, not complexity. Habit 1. Stop checking if you're happy. This sounds strange, but think about it. Imagine trying to fall asleep while constantly asking yourself, am I asleep yet? The more you check, the harder it becomes. Happiness works in a surprisingly similar way. Many people spend their lives constantly evaluating themselves. Am I happy enough? Am I successful enough? Am I enjoying this enough? And without realizing it, they turn happiness into a test. But happiness isn't something you force. It's something you experience. The happiest moments often happen when you're completely absorbed in life, not when you're measuring it. So stop checking. Stop scoring your day. Stop asking whether you're happy, and start paying attention to what's happening right in front of you. Habit 2. Stop telling yourself the ending before the story's over. Your brain has a fascinating habit. Whenever something uncertain happens, it immediately tries to predict what comes next. A friend doesn't reply, you assume they're upset. A plan changes. You assume the day is ruined. You make a mistake. You assume everything will go wrong. The problem is that your brain usually predicts the future using fear, not facts. And every time you accept those predictions without questioning them, you train your mind to expect disappointment. Happy people do something different. They leave room for possibilities. They remind themselves that they don't know the ending yet. Maybe the friend is just busy. Maybe the setback leads to something better. Maybe the mistake won't matter at all a week from now. This habit sounds simple, but it can dramatically change how you experience life. Because happiness grows when you stop turning uncertainty into bad news. The next time your mind starts writing a negative ending, gently interrupt it. Tell yourself, the story isn't finished yet, and give reality a chance to surprise you. Habit 3. Leave some photos untaken. We live in a world where every beautiful moment seems to require proof. A sunset, a vacation, a meal, a gathering. And before we experience it, we reach for our phones. But here's something worth considering. Not every memory needs a photograph. Some memories become more meaningful when they're experienced fully, instead of documented constantly. Try leaving a few moments uncaptured. No camera, no recording, no posting. Just presence. Because sometimes the best way to remember a moment is to actually live it. Habit 4. Repeat experiences you already love. Modern culture constantly encourages us to chase something new. A new show, a new restaurant, a new destination, a new experience. And while novelty is exciting, happiness often lives somewhere else. Think about your favorite place, your favorite walk, your favorite book, your favorite cafe, your favorite tradition. Many happy people don't constantly search for better experiences. They revisit meaningful ones. Because familiarity creates comfort, and comfort creates emotional stability. Sometimes happiness isn't found in discovering something new. It's found in returning to something that already brings you joy. Habit 5. Keep evidence of good days. Your brain has a negativity bias. It's designed to remember problems more easily than pleasant experiences. That may have helped our ancestors survive, but it often makes modern life feel heavier than it really is. That's why it's useful to keep evidence, not gratitude. Evidence. A note on your phone, a journal entry, a collection of small moments, a funny conversation, a kind gesture, a personal win, a peaceful afternoon, something that proves life isn't as bad as your anxious mind sometimes claims. Because on difficult days, your brain needs reminders of what is still good. Before we continue, I want you to think about something. How many good moments have happened this week that you've already forgotten? Not because they weren't important, but because your brain moved past them too quickly. The truth is, happiness often disappears, not because it's missing, but because we're not paying attention. And if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Not because one video will change your life, but because the ideas you hear repeatedly become the thoughts you remember. And the thoughts you remember become the choices you make. If you want more psychology-based videos that help you build a calmer, happier, and healthier mind, make sure you're subscribed. Now, let's continue. Habit 6. Arrive early. Most people spend an incredible amount of their lives rushing. Rushing to work. Rushing to appointments. Rushing through conversations. Rushing through meals. Rushing through life. And every time you rush, you send your brain a message. We're behind. We don't have enough time. We need to hurry. Eventually, stress becomes your default setting. Try arriving 10 minutes early. Not because you need to be productive, because you deserve to feel unhurried. You'll notice something surprising. Life feels different when you're not constantly racing against the clock. Peace often exists in the extra space we refuse to give ourselves. Habit 7. Create one tiny ritual. Human beings love rituals, not because rituals are magical, because they create meaning. Maybe it's making coffee the same way every morning, lighting a candle before reading, taking an evening walk after dinner, listening to the same song before bed. Tiny rituals tell your brain something important. This moment matters, and when ordinary moments start feeling meaningful, happiness becomes easier to find. Because happiness isn't only found in big events, it's often hidden inside repeated moments that become special through attention. Habit 8. Reread instead of always consuming something new. Most people are constantly searching for the next thing. The next article, the next video, the next book, the next piece of information. But there's something deeply comforting about returning to something familiar. A favorite book, a meaningful quote, a story that once inspired you. When you revisit something familiar, your brain experiences a sense of psychological safety. You already know what to expect. You already know it matters. And in a world obsessed with novelty, familiarity can be surprisingly healing. Habit 9. Become less available to bad news. Notice I didn't say ignore reality. That's not the goal. The goal is to stop giving endless access to negativity. Many people begin and end their day consuming information designed to trigger fear, outrage, or anxiety. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted. Your brain wasn't designed to process every crisis happening everywhere all at once. So create boundaries, stay informed, but don't become overwhelmed. Protect your attention. Because what repeatedly enters your mind eventually influences how you experience the world. Habit 10. Practice enough. This may be the most powerful habit of all. Most people spend their lives chasing the next thing, the next purchase, the next achievement, the next milestone, the next upgrade. And because there's always another level, satisfaction remains just out of reach. But happy people understand something different. At some point, they learn to say, "This is enough." Not because they stop growing, not because they stop dreaming, but because they stop postponing happiness until everything becomes perfect. enough money for today, enough success for today, enough progress for today, enough. The moment you learn to appreciate what already exists, your brain stops living entirely in the future and starts experiencing the present. Here's the truth most people spend years searching for. Happiness isn't hidden in some distant destination. It's hidden in the way your brain experiences ordinary life, the way you notice good moments, the way you protect your attention, the way you create meaning, the way you remember what matters, the way you appreciate what's already here. That's why happiness rarely arrives all at once. It grows quietly. One thought, one habit, one moment at a time. So don't leave this video believing you need to change everything tomorrow. You don't. Choose one habit, just one. Practice it for the next 7 days. Give your brain a new pattern to follow. Because the life you experience isn't only shaped by what happens to you, it's shaped by what your brain learns to notice. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll start feeling different. A little lighter, a little calmer, a little more grateful. Not because life became perfect, but because your brain learned a better way to experience it. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments which habit you're committing to this week. I'd genuinely love to read your answers. And if you know someone who has been feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or stuck lately, share this video with them.